Thank you.
You need the remote control.
Yeah, please clicker.
Okay, there you go. Big green button. Thanks.
Okay, hello everyone. We are from Ukraine, and I will tell you a Flatfy group story during these 8 months of Russian invasion in Ukraine. A few words about us. We are a Ukrainian IT prop tech company founded in 2008 in Kiev, Ukraine. We have a core team, more than 100 people in Ukraine and a few dozens abroad. And our projects are launched in more than 10 countries under 4 distinct brands. And last year we had around $10 million annual revenue. And in this presentation I will cover 2 topics. First, how are we doing? What challenges do we face? And what decision we've made, and how real estate market in Ukraine is doing. So let's start. This was the place where we working. This was our office before. And this is how our office looks like this often. This is how our people work. And this is and do you know why do they working from bathroom? Because you need 2 walls between you and Russian air missiles. So remember it, maybe it will be helpful. So everything started 24th of February. Our team woke up at 5 o'clock from the Russian bombs bombing our cities. And first, what everybody was doing, they were self-evacuating, hiding in basements, in parkings, and some of our people were defending. They went to territory defense. And the main decision we made as a company that day, we decided to pull full salary forward for February, because we didn't know by the end of the day when we will end. Will they take Kiev in 3 days? So we decided not to keep money, but pay to all of our team, so they had money to evacuate and to live in future. Our cash income in February dropped to 75%, just because the last week was empty. And in 1 week, when it was understandable that they will not take Kiev in 3 days, on the 1st of March, we needed, as a company, to make some decisions. We need to talk to our people and to tell them, do they have still a job? We decided to save all the team as long as possible, to switch to maximum economy regime, to cut all marketing costs, to suspend all administrative costs, and put our team focus to cutting an IT infrastructure cost. It was planned for March. Then we didn't know how many money we will earn on March, and we told our team that all income that we will have on March, we will split equally for salaries, but we don't require to work, because in that psychological situation, it's hard to require something. So either you fighting or volunteering or helping our company to make some software, you will get equal split. And we decided not to use our cash reserve. We had a cash reserve for 1.5 months. We decided to get through March and then decide what to do next. In March, our income was only 10%, and the most of it was from our international revenue. Then, after 1 month, we needed to tell something what we'll do next, because nobody can work for a tiny fraction of salary. And we decided to increase our horizon of planning for 3 months. So we made a plan what to do in 3 months. We still decided to save all the team, to keep all the team. But we changed the focus to our international projects, international revenue, because Ukrainian revenue recovery was not dependent on us, yeah, but on military forces of Ukraine only. And we invented a formula. We decided to, we said that we will fund 50% of their salary with our cash reserve. It was enough for 3 months. And half of our income we will put equally split on salaries. And we introduced wall scholarships for those people who couldn't work these 3 months because they were volunteering or fighting, or psychological situation was too hard for them to work. And next 3 months looked like this. So we recovered, and in the end of these 3 months we had 30% of revenue. But the most interesting was that half of that revenue was international, compared to below 5% in pre-war situation. So we were successful into turning our ship to international business. In July, our cash reserve vanished, and we need something to do. We decided to create a recovery plan for 18 months, and we raised an emergency financing round. We changed our focus back to international revenue and Ukrainian equally, because in Ukraine life returned to its normal in some regions after the defeat of Russian forces in Kiev region. And we returned full salaries, but with performance reviews and firing processes and hiring. So we returned from some socialistic way of management to capitalistic back. Our recovery plan looks like this. We forecast recovery of revenue from 60 to 100% by the end of next year, so in 18 months. And we need to be profitable in the end of this story. Transactions. The main topic of this conference is transactions. So the significant part of our business is from transactions now. I'll tell you 3 examples of it. First example is our quarter. It's a new projects catalog. We charge from 1 to 5% fee from developers. And this year, we sold more than 200 apartments, mostly in Georgia, in 2 cities, Batumi and Tbilisi. And in October, we had our few transaction deal in Dubai and in Astana, Kazakhstan, where we have mostly advertisement business model right now. So we are shifting to transactions there too. The second example is a rental flats in Kiev, Ukraine. We charge 12.5% from 1 month's rental price from realtors. And since July, so for 4 months, we successfully made more than 100 rents this year, so in last 4 months. And the third example is in the sales vertical, flats for sale in Kiev. We charge flat fee, $2,000, and we just started to experiment with this type of fee. And last week we had our first transaction deal in Kiev. So our business models looks like this. We have 3 regions of presence: Ukrainian, Asia, and Europe, and 3 verticals, sub-verticals: new developments, secondary market, and rentals. In new developments, in Ukraine, we still are on advertisement business model. In Asia, we are shifting from advertisement to transactional. And in Europe, we will start from transaction when we will start. On the secondary market, this year we changed our business model from traffic generation and selling of traffic in aggregation business model to classifieds and transactions. And in rentals, we have only transaction business model in Ukraine, and we're starting it in Europe too. So let's come to the second part of my speech, how real estate market in Ukraine is doing. This is how real estate looked like before, and this is how it looks today. More than 15,000 multi-story buildings were destroyed right now. This is how private houses looked like in Bucha, Irpin, and this is how it looks right now. More than 100,000 private buildings are destroyed completely. And now more than 3.5 million Ukrainians completely lost their homes. It is the population of Madrid, the third largest city in Europe. So imagine all Madrid is leveled to ground. Yeah. So this is how land looks like. Maybe interesting for you. This is a 100 years building in Kiev. This is how it looks after airstrikes for civilian buildings, civilian people. So let's come to statistics. Interesting that buy and rent interest in Google Trends changed. Buy interest dropped more than 2 times. Rent interest multiplied by 3 or 2 times. This is our data, new projects on the market. There were almost 200 in Kiev. In March, they were off market. But now, 8 months passed, only half of the buildings are on the market. But they have almost no deals, so no sales, maybe below 5%. This is Lun.ua, our new projects catalog in Kiev, in Ukraine, audience, weekly. So in first weeks it was 10, below 20%. Now it's, in 2 months it recovered to 30%, and then it's flat. So 35% right now. The audience, if in Ukraine map, says that 60% of audience recovered in western part of Ukraine. 2 major cities in central part, Kiev and Odessa, recovered only 30%, and other cities recovered 10 to 20% that are close to Mordor. Flat for sale prices in Kiev, 1 bedroom, increased before war, and now they decreased rapidly, even with the total absence of deals or small fraction of deals. This is rentals in Kiev. This is audience of our Bird iOS application. In first months, it dropped to 20% of the interest. Then after 6 months, it recovered to 100%. In September, it even were 125%. But in the 10th of October, when Russian bombs fired into civilian buildings and electricity, blackouts and everything, it dropped 25% down, and now it's recovered, but only to 100%, not 125%. So now, even in blackouts, the demand is 100% as before the war in Kiev. Maybe interesting Kiev rental prices for 1 bedroom apartment. It was almost $500 a month, and it dropped 2 times. And only last month it started to recover a little bit. Yeah, this is a Ukrainian rental demand accounted as views per ad on our website. You can see red areas, green areas, mostly in the central part of Ukraine. Yeah, so this is it. You will have this presentation after everything. So maybe by any chance you have a question how you could help. Yeah, so you know that there is a United 24 initiative by our President Zelensky. There is a topic, defense, medical, and rebuild Ukraine. So by any chance, if your company wishes to make a donation, maybe $100,000, $50,000, $20,000, you can make a photo of this QR code, and I will photo you that you are making photo of this, and I will remember that you helped us. Yeah, and also we started our own recovery project named Homes of War. We collect the stories of people whose buildings are destroyed right now. These people collecting money to rebuild buildings, to put back windows, because there is winter now and it's cold. So you could make a photo of this QR code and donate maybe privately $10,000, $5,000, $1,000, maybe $1 even for those people who collecting to recover their homes, because, well, here is the story that Russian occupiers tortured and killed one of the neighbors or residents of this building, and they are well, raising money to rebuild this building. So it's terrible, but we believe that we will win, that Russia will be defeated, because terrorist state has to be defeated, and we will win. The light will shine with your help. So thank you for your help. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Andrey, thank you very, very much for sharing that story. There's some questions that have come up. One of them is all around how did the business refocus so fast, right? Because you've changed focus from your domestic operations to international operations. How did you manage to do that? So where are your teams located now? Is it all still in Ukraine, or are they somewhere else?
Mm-hmm. The most of the team is located in Ukraine, but not in Kiev, but in all the Ukraine. Part of our team, mostly girls, are located outside Ukraine, so they are refugees. Well, we just started to more intensively to invest in our international products in Georgia, hire new agents, because in transaction business model, you need agents to make these transactions. So we have now more than 10 agents in Georgia, and like we're making deals. We get commission, yeah, and it helped us. It's international part and Ukrainian part recovered. Ukrainian rentals part recovered more fast, because well, people change where they live, they need rentals, and we changed our business model from traffic selling to classifieds. So a fraction of our revenue now comes from classifieds, from rentals. Yeah, and some developers in western part of Ukraine, they need to build, they need investment from buyers, so they need to sell, so they need to advertise. We dropped prices 3 to 5 times, and they pay us this small fraction right now, but small part, and we have 30% of our revenue. Yeah, but we need 60 or 70 to become profitable. Yes. So we are now far below zero.
Okay, some other questions here. Where did the emergency round come from?
NDA. From NDA.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I can't tell.
And we're going to share the QR code for you with everyone via an email out. What's included in the $200 transaction model?
We don't have $200 or $2,000.
$2,000. I think they've left a zero off the end.
You can look at this as for advertising package. So a realtor with exclusive, like you call it, exclusive ownership of this object gives us object. We go on the object, make a Matterport 3D tour, make all the information and put on our websites to advertise. And we have our own call center, so if we have a buyer, then we connect to the realtor, and if he makes a deal, he gives us a part of his commission. In Ukraine, commission is from 3 to 5%, so from $100 or $200 apartment, realtor has $6 to $10,000 commission, and $2,000 gives to us. So it's below 1% of a price.
Okay. And when you said you're doing transactions outside of Ukraine, are they for local people, so it's just in-market transactions?
It depends on the market, because in Batumi, there are mostly cross-border deals, and it's easy to make cross-border deals because people from abroad, they need some help meeting them in the airport and other things. But in Tbilisi, most of the deals are local. Yeah. So in Dubai, it was cross-border deal. Mm-hmm. In Kazakhstan, it was local.
Okay.
So it's half.
And what have been some of the challenges for you in starting up these international transaction operations? How have you thought about hiring local teams who understand the local operations, whether it's in Dubai or wherever it is?
Difficulties come from what you are not able to do. So we are software developers, so it's very easy for us to make a website, to get the audience, and it was hard for us to manage local people on the ground. But so first deals in Georgia, we made that our salesperson from Kiev took an airplane ticket, went to Batumi, made a deal, took money, bought a ticket back, returned with no money. So it was our first deals. But now we have local agents. Mm-hmm. They are Georgians, and they are making all the deals. They are realtors, so it's very. So now the biggest challenge is to hire a local team.
Okay. And how do you manage that local team? Are you putting some of your own team in place in, for example, Georgia, or you're hiring a local management?
No, we manage them from Kiev.
Okay. And it's all done via technology?
Well, it was COVID, so mm-hmm. everybody are used to work online to speak with computer, so it's no problem. Okay. Yeah, but we fly there, they fly to us, so it's no problem. Okay. It was.
Excellent. And then there was a question down here which I was curious about, which is, can you tell something about your 3D buildings technology used on Korta? Does that make sense to you?
Well, it's a part of a product. We have lots of different cool stuff, 3D buildings, AI, and other things. But I think it's not like business question, but more product. You can ask us in the evening after a few beers.
Okay. Andrey, thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you for sharing the information.
Thank you.
Thank you.